Hey! This episode will be dedicated to your role as a team player, what you should look at and target selection. Your role as a team player. I'll never say enough that team play and communication are the keys in order to be efficient as Mesmer. Your role is to support your team, you won't carry the game alone. Here are some tips about what you should pay attention at the beginning of each match. First off, before the game even starts, think about the strengths and weaknesses of your team. Those ones will be a function of the other team composition, by the way. Regularly, your role will be to play against the other team in order to boost your strength and limit your weaknesses. As I said, you are here to support your team, and the way you will play needs to be dependent on your team's needs. In GVG, try to always listen to the information coming from the backline. Sometimes you can talk with your monk, like in random arenas. It will be your job then to determine whether or not you need to play defensively or aggressively, but please always listen to your monks, healers, whatever. In a second time, look at the enemy team and try to determine their weaknesses and strength. To know the build, for example, if an elementalist uses air attunement, we can guess he's playing air magic. And this way expect a lightning surge or invoke or mind shock or anything. Sometimes you can do that, because you don't have any information on the characters you are facing. That's why you need to fight them first, and during the 21st seconds of the match, try to catch as much information as you can to determine what's strong in their team. Once we got all this information, we can start thinking about how to play the game in a way that will allow my team to be as efficient as it can be. Let's have a look at an example where I list strengths and weaknesses of a GVGV team composition. Here YB runs a 2 Ritualist Assassin's Dagger composition. Strengths. Huge DPS on the Ritualist with Spirit Strength. Insanely strong 8v8 composition, since the 2 air magic elementalists can easily boost the 2 Ritualist Assassins with Gust and allows them to not be lying back that easily. An easy knockdown is possible with Gale. YB decided to play with 2 Shield Guardians on the Elementalist. It adds even more power to the 8v8, but had to draw press for it, so they don't have a lot of room for mistakes if someone dies. They probably have only one resting yet on the Mesmer. Weaknesses. Ritualists are more 60. A frontline would do a huge DPS on them. Gust is a key skill, since it allows the Wraith to not be lying back that much. Ritualist damage mostly rely on Spirit Strength, one enchantment removal on them and they lose half their DPS. Really hard to split anti-split with that build. No one has a self-heal or enough damage to face a Lightning Surge Elementalist, for example, in a 1v1 scenario. Let's close this example. Ask yourself, what do they have that will prevent my team from doing their job? Once you have solved this question, it means you already know what to do. Let's say you have a warrior and the opposite team has an air magic elementalist with blinding flash. Then the elementalist blinding flash is a big deal, because if he uses blind on your warrior, he won't be able to deal any damage. Sometimes it's hard to find what's annoying for your teammates, since maybe you haven't ever played the profession and don't know what the profession struggle against. I recommend to play at least a few times each profession to see what's really a threat or an annoying thing for them. Since you will better know the needs of your team, it's gonna allow you to be more efficient in your decision making. By the way, the needs of your team will depend on whether or not your team wants to play aggressively or defensively. A whole topic will be dedicated to this one as well. And as I said, if you don't know how to counter a build, just play it for a few games. You will quickly realize what is threatening. Target selection. In fact, all this series of video could be named Guess what the enemy team is gonna do and react to it, since Mesmer is mostly about that. Once you have mastered the art of knowing what's cheating on your team, now it's time to know when to watch some specific targets. And that's the hard part of the job, and where most people have trouble with. Since Guild Wars is a real-time game, you have to make a correct prediction, and when someone is gonna try to do something annoying and react to it, before he even did the thing. But if you miss a prediction, no worries, it happens. Sometimes you are waiting for a skill that will never come up for way too long, or use diversion for nothing on a target you were sure had to use a skill. You have to deal with it. Mesmer with 100% prediction accuracy don't exist. Something crucial is to know the cooldown and duration of the skills. Let's say a ranger uses Apply Poison, which adds a huge pressure on your team. You basically don't have to watch him for the next 20 seconds, since Apply Poison duration is 24 seconds. But don't forget to at least take a look at him 20 seconds later. A lot of GW skills are conditional. By this I mean, if the target asks something, then the skill does something. For example, Word of Healing heals way more if target's health is under 50% HP. If you could think as a monk, you would probably try to optimize your healings to save energy. It means healing when target cells are under 50% HP. 50%. It then might be a good idea to expect the healer to use Word of Healing if someone in his team is pretty low in health. I won't make a bunch of examples since I think you have understood the main principle. Try it yourself. When will you use Cure X? If there is an X, and annoying or not depending on the communication of the team. So if you are playing GVG against two monks, for example, if you use diversion of the prot, you can expect the healer to use Cure X. So it's time to watch him. And that's it. Target selection can be hard to master, since you need to find the target really quickly on the field. In the next episode, we are going to talk about key bindings, not only, to know how to optimize your keys and interface in order to find the target really quickly, and have the best possible vision on the battlefield. And we'll maybe talk about some builds, but I'm not sure yet, it's maybe a bit too early. For now, I've been really general on the videos, and I can understand it could be boring, since I don't give a lot of concrete examples, but it's really important to understand the basic mindset before going deeper. Anyway, I'll take your feedbacks in account for this first real episode, so don't hesitate to comment and tell me what you think about the format, if you want more examples, if you want more generalities, just tell me and I'm gonna try my best to change it in the next video. I'm out, ciao!